I was pouring coffee in the office kitchen when Emma walked in, her heels clicking softly against the polished floor. "Morning, James," she said, her smile just bright enough to make my chest tighten. "Morning," I replied, trying to sound casual, though my hands were shaking slightly. "Sleep well." "Better than I have in weeks," she said, leaning against the counter. "But I think I'll need another cup." I handed her the mug. "Here. One strong enough to wake the dead." She laughed, that soft laugh that always made me forget how professional we were supposed to be. "Thanks. You always know how to make the ordinary feel special." I felt heat rise to my cheeks. Well, someone's got to. Sarah walked in then, carrying a stack of reports. "Hey, you two, don't melt in the kitchen. Mark's waiting for the quarterly update." Emma rolled her eyes. "Sarah, you always ruin the moment." I chuckled. Moments like these are dangerous in offices. Sarah shook her head, muttering, "Romance in the workplace, classic disaster." Emma sipped her coffee and looked at me. "James, have you thought more about making us public?" I froze, trying not to look too eager. Yes. This week, I think. Everything's perfect now, don't you think?" Her gaze softened. "Perfect? You think our secret meetings, quiet dinners, and stolen moments are perfect?" "It's perfect because it's ours," I said, stepping closer. "I've never felt this alive before. I want people to know." Emma paused, glancing down at her mug. "I want that too," she admitted softly, then smiled. "But timing is tricky. We need to be careful." I nodded, hiding the surge of excitement. "I understand. But this week, tomorrow, we can finally step out of the shadows." Emma leaned in slightly, lowering her voice. "You're impatient. That's why I like you." I grinned. "And that's why I love you." The words felt natural, effortless. I had rehearsed them in my head for weeks, but saying them aloud made the world shrink to just her and me. Mark appeared in the doorway, holding his tablet. Everything ready for the presentation. Emma straightened, switching back to CEO mode. Almost. Just a few last-minute details. I caught her eyes briefly. That look, the one that said everything without words, made me believe she felt the same way I did. Mark glanced at me. "James, are you coming?" "Right behind you," I said. We walked together to the conference room. Emma whispered as we entered, "I got a message last night." I stopped mid-step. "Message?" She hesitated, then added casually, "From someone from my past." My stomach tightened. "Someone from your past." I tried to sound calm, but my voice was sharper than I intended. She gave me a small, almost guilty smile. "Don't worry. Nothing important. Just unexpected." I nodded slowly, but my mind refused to let it go. Unexpected. Past. Secrets. As Emma led the presentation, I stole glances at her. She was brilliant, confident, perfect in every way. And yet, that tiny hint of distraction, that small crease between her brows, made my heart race. Something was coming. I could feel it. After the meeting, she caught my hand briefly. "We'll talk about it later," she whispered. "Later," I agreed, though the word felt heavy. My excitement for our future suddenly mingled with unease. I spotted Emma across the crowded gala hall before I even noticed Alex. She was radiant, laughing lightly with colleagues, her champagne glass catching the light. My chest tightened. Tonight was supposed to be ours, our celebration of success, a step toward making us public. Then I saw him. Alex. Standing at the edge of the room, his confident smile fixed on her. My stomach turned. "Emma." His voice carried easily across the hall. Smooth. Familiar. She froze mid-laugh. "Alex, what are you doing here?" "I came to see you," he said, stepping closer. "I couldn't stay away." I clenched my fists behind my back, pretending to adjust my cufflinks. The betrayal hit before she even spoke. "You shouldn't be here," she replied, though her voice wavered. "I know," he said softly. "But I had to tell you. I never stopped loving you." I wanted to step forward, shout, demand she look at me, but I couldn't move. I watched her eyes flicker, that brief hesitation that made my heart pound like a drum. I don't know what to say, she whispered. Then don't say anything, he said. Just hear me. I've missed you. I've regretted every moment we weren't together. I swallowed hard. Every word pierced me like a knife. I had trusted her completely. We had plans, our life together. And here he was, inserting himself into our story. Alex, this isn't the time, Emma said finally, her voice soft but firm. I had to try, he insisted. You're the only one I've ever wanted. My jaw tightened. I wanted to storm over there, to interrupt, to tell her she was mine, but I stayed rooted. I couldn't show them how rattled I was. Not yet. James. Sarah's voice drew me back. She was at my side, her brow furrowed. Are you okay? I forced a smile. Yeah, fine. Just enjoying the gala. She didn't look convinced but moved on. I turned back toward Emma. He was too close, leaning slightly toward her, that old charm working like a spell. Alex, please, she murmured, taking a step back. I can't. Can't what? His tone was softer now, almost pleading. Be with me. Be honest with yourself. Don't you feel anything? She hesitated. I saw it. Her lips parted slightly, her eyes softening. My chest tightened again. I feel, she started, then stopped, looking down her glass. I care, but. But what? Alex pressed. But I need time. Time. Just a word, but it was a blade through me. Not a rejection, not a yes, just that uncertain middle ground that left me dangling. I wanted to step forward, confront her, demand clarity. Instead, I sipped my drink, heart pounding. I couldn't let them see how much this hurt me. Emma, Alex said gently, I can wait. I'll wait as long as it takes. She nodded, still avoiding my eyes, still silent on her answer. I caught Mark watching me from across the room. He gave a subtle nod, as if acknowledging my composure. Good. No one should see me unravel. Not yet. I leaned slightly against the wall, forcing my breathing to calm. Betrayal, disbelief, anger, it all mingled inside me. How could she stand there, just listening to him? Didn't she see me? Didn't she remember all the plans, all the moments we shared? Emma finally glanced around the room, and our eyes met for a brief second. That look, soft, hesitant, was enough to send another wave of confusion crashing through me. Alex straightened. I'll leave you to think. I just needed you to know. That's all. Emma nodded faintly. Thank you, for telling me. He walked away. The spell was broken, but my unease remained. She hadn't said no, and she hadn't said yes. Just, maybe, perhaps, possibly. I took a slow breath, pretending to adjust my jacket again. Sarah sidled up to me. You okay? I managed a weak smile. Yeah, fine. Inside, though, I was anything but. I couldn't sleep. My apartment was quiet, but my mind was anything but. Emma's eyes, soft and confused, kept replaying in my head. Alex's smug smile, the way he leaned toward her. I kept seeing it over and over. I paced the living room. Why did she hesitate? Why didn't she just say no? I muttered to myself. The phone buzzed. Rachel. I hesitated before answering. James, are you up? She asked, her voice soft, concerned. Yeah, I admitted, running a hand through my hair. Couldn't sleep. You sound awful. What happened? It's complicated, I said, forcing calm. Emma's ex showed up. Told her he still loves her. She didn't say no. She didn't say yes. Rachel exhaled. Oh, James. I'm so sorry. I thought we were solid, I said, pacing again. I planned to make us public this week. I thought she was mine. But then him, and she just froze. You have every right to be upset, Rachel said firmly. But you can't control her feelings. You can only control how you react. I stopped pacing. I can't just let it go. Not after everything. I trusted her. I planned a future, and he just shows up like I don't even exist. I get it, she said. But anger isn't enough. You need strategy, focus. Don't let him see his winning. I sank onto the couch. Winning. He hasn't even done anything yet. And she looked at him like he mattered. You can't think like that forever, Rachel insisted. Think about everything you've done for her. All those late dinners, surprise notes, quiet moments that no one else saw. That's your bond. I ran my hands over my face. I left a coffee in her office every morning for a month. Remembered her favorite pastries. Stayed late when she had projects piling up. And yet, he waltzes in, says a few words, and I feel invisible. Because she's human, Rachel said gently. She's conflicted, yes, but that doesn't erase everything you've done. And it doesn't erase what she feels for you. I let out a shaky laugh. Feels for me? Does it? She didn't reject him. She didn't choose me either. She just hesitated. That's torture. I know, Rachel replied softly. But you're stronger than you think. Let this hurt you, yes. Let it sting. But don't let it control you. Channel it. Be smarter, more decisive. Make her see where her heart truly belongs. I stared at the ceiling. Channel it. You mean revenge? Not revenge against her, she corrected. Revenge against him, if you must. But mostly, reclaim control of your life. Show her who you really are, James. Not through jealousy or anger, but through strength, focus, and patience. I ran a hand down my face again. Strength, patience. Patience is the hardest part. You've got it, Rachel said. I've seen you handle worse than this. You're brilliant, loyal, and she knows it. Don't let a moment of weakness erase months of effort. I thought about the small ways I'd shown her I cared. The notes in her briefcase. The carefully planned birthday surprise she had never expected. The time I stayed behind at the office so she could leave early. I realized she had seen me in ways that mattered. But still, that hesitation. That small pause before she turned away from Alex. That image burned itself into my chest. James, listen, Rachel continued. You're not powerless. You decide what happens next. You've got to focus on what's in your control. Everything else, let it play out. I can't just let it play out, I muttered. You can watch, analyze, and wait. That's control, she said. Don't let your emotions ruin your advantage. And don't let her forget who you are. I slumped back against the couch, my phone slipping from my hand. I trusted her. I thought everything was perfect. And now it feels like a lie. Nothing is a lie, Rachel said firmly. You've shown her who you are. She's the one hesitating, not you. Don't forget that. I closed my eyes. Sleep wouldn't come, but the first flicker of resolve did. My heart was raw, hurt, and confused, but somewhere in that pain, a seed of something stronger had taken root. A seed of patience, focus, and maybe, just maybe, karmic justice. I muttered to the empty room. I couldn't stop thinking about last night. Emma's hesitation, Alex's words, the way her eyes lingered a moment too long, it all replayed like a broken record. I needed clarity, but I didn't know if confronting her would destroy everything or finally set the path straight. I found her in the office lounge the next morning. She was alone, scrolling through her phone, unaware I was standing there. Emma, I said softly. She looked up, startled. James, I didn't hear you come in. I needed to talk, I said, stepping closer. About last night. She nodded, setting her phone down. I know. I want to talk too. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing slightly. I need to know, Emma. Did what he say? Did it mean anything? She hesitated, biting her lip. James, it's complicated. Alex, he still exists in my past. I can't deny that I have lingering feelings, memories. But that doesn't mean I love him. I do love you. I stopped mid-step, staring at her. You love me. Then why didn't you just reject him? I needed to think, she said quietly. I didn't want to hurt either of you. It's messy, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. Messy? I asked, my voice sharp. Emma, this is our life. I trusted you, planned a future with you. And he shows up, confesses, and you hesitate? That's not messy. That's betrayal. She flinched at the word. James, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't want this to happen either. I exhaled, trying to calm the storm inside me. So what now? Do I fight for you? Confront him? Or do I let karma play out and hope things fix themselves? Her eyes softened. I can't tell you what to do. I can't control your choices. But I need you to trust me, to believe I love you. I've never doubted us, not really. I paced again, conflicted. Part of me wanted to grab her, demand loyalty, make her say my name and nothing else mattered. Another part whispered patience, strategy, letting him reveal himself over time. I don't know if I can just sit back, I admitted. I feel powerless watching him stand there, thinking he can still have a chance with you. You're not powerless, she said, reaching out but hesitating. You have me, James. Don't let fear decide your actions. I shook my head, running a hand down my face. Fear isn't it? Anger? Yes. Hurt? Confusion? I'm torn between confronting him and risking everything, or being patient, letting him stumble, letting fate decide. Emma frowned slightly. And if you confront him? What happens to us? Everything could fall apart, I said honestly. I could push you away. I could ruin this. Or I could gain clarity. But it might cost us the trust we've built. She bit her lip. I don't want to lose you, James. Not to fear. Not to anger. Please, think carefully. I looked at her, really looked at her. The warmth in her eyes, the softness of her features. It was all mine if I acted wisely. But the thought of him, still lingering, made me sick to my stomach. I need a plan, I muttered, more to myself than her. I can't just react. I have to think, act strategically. Not out of spite, but to protect what we have. Emma tilted her head. Strategically? James, are you thinking about revenge? I'm thinking about control, I said firmly. Revenge isn't my goal. But I will make sure nothing, no one, interferes with us. I won't sit by and watch our life unravel. She nodded slowly. I trust you. But promise me you won't let this consume you. Don't let anger blind you. I won't, I promised, though a spark of determination burned in me. I'll stay. I'll protect us. And I'll make sure Alex doesn't stand a chance, without her realizing I ever planned it. Her eyes softened, and she whispered, I love you, James. Remember that. I love you too, I said, stepping closer. But love isn't enough tonight. I need action, strategy, patience. We are at a crossroads, Emma, and I won't let us fall apart. She reached out, touching my hand lightly. Then let's face this together. Carefully, wisely, but together. I nodded, gripping her hand firmly. Together. But I make the moves, Emma. You stay honest with me, and I'll handle the rest. He won't even see it coming. She gave a small smile, but the tension in her eyes reminded me of the risk. I'll trust you. Just promise you'll be careful. I promise, I said, though inside, a plan was already forming. I'd stay close, stay vigilant, and play this perfectly. Emma would never doubt me, and Alex would soon learn that some mistakes can't be undone. I let the words settle between us, a fragile piece hanging in the air. I arrived at the office earlier than usual, coffee in hand, determined to regain control. Emma was already at her desk, typing away, completely unaware of the storm brewing in my mind. Morning, James, she said, glancing up. You look focused. I have a lot to do today, I said casually, though my eyes scanned the room. Alex wasn't here yet, but I knew he'd try to make his presence felt soon. Sarah passed by, carrying a stack of files. You've got that determination glow again, she said with a teasing smile. I smirked. It's called strategy. Daniel appeared from the corner, clipboard in hand. James, got a minute? I wanted to review the Henderson account. Of course, I said, nodding. Daniel had been a silent ally for months, always observing, always knowing when to speak. I trusted him more than anyone right now. We walked into a small conference room. I leaned against the table. Daniel, I need an honest assessment. How does Alex handle pressure? He raised an eyebrow. Arrogant. Overconfident. Good at charm, bad at details. He looks impressive, but he cracks under scrutiny. I nodded, letting that sink in. That's perfect. Charm makes people blind. Sloppiness will make him fail, and everyone will notice. Exactly, Daniel said. We just need to expose it subtly. I smiled. Subtlety is everything. Alex's ego will do most of the work for us. Later, I found Alex leaning against the wall near Emma's office, talking to Mark. James, he said smoothly as I approached. You look busy. I am, I replied evenly. Busy enough to notice people exaggerating their importance. He laughed, but there was an edge I knew he didn't want anyone else to see. Exaggerating? That's funny coming from you. You're usually so careful with appearances. Careful doesn't mean incompetent, I said. I just make sure results speak louder than words. Alex's smile faltered. Touché. But some results take charm, not spreadsheets. Charm doesn't fix mistakes, I said quietly, watching him tighten his grip on the folder he held. Emma appeared then, looking between us. Everything okay? Perfectly, I said smoothly. Just a little professional rivalry. She nodded, returning to her work. I caught her eyes for a moment. That flicker of warmth, the same one that made me trust her love, reminded me why I was doing this carefully, silently. I retreated to my office, closing the door behind me. Daniel followed, sliding a folder across the desk. I compiled every error Alex made in the last quarter, he said. It's subtle, but consistent. Missed deadlines, small miscalculations, overlooked emails. Nothing major alone, but together, it tells a story. I opened the folder, flipping through it. Exactly what we need. He looks untouchable, but a pattern reveals weakness. Emma will notice, people will notice, and pride will be his undoing. Daniel nodded. Should I continue collecting data? Track interactions, client feedback? Absolutely, I said. Every conversation, every decision. We stay one step ahead, quietly, efficiently. Let him think he's winning, but in reality, the cards are stacked against him. He smiled faintly. I like your plan. Patient, calculated, invisible until the moment it matters. Good, I said. Invisible is power. Never forget it. The day passed in a blur of meetings and reports. I subtly corrected mistakes Alex tried to cover, praised Emma in front of the team, and planted small suggestions that highlighted his flaws without making it obvious. Every move was calculated. Every word measured. At lunch, Emma came to my office. James, are you plotting something? I looked up, grinning faintly. Just ensuring everything runs smoothly. Your smoothly seems very strategic lately, she teased, sitting across from me. Is this about Alex? Partly, I admitted. But mostly, about protecting us, our future. I won't let someone from the past interfere. She leaned back, crossing her arms. I trust you, James. Just, don't lose yourself in this. I won't, I promised. I'm not losing myself. I'm sharpening myself. Waiting. Watching. Acting when the moment is perfect. Later, in the break room, Alex passed by. He smiled at me, unaware I had already reviewed his patterns, already mapped his weaknesses. James, he said casually, we should collaborate sometime. I returned the smile. Of course. Collaboration is key. Inside, though, I felt the quiet satisfaction of control. He didn't know I had been observing him, analyzing him, documenting every flaw. Pride made him blind. Charm made people defer. But I, James, was patient. Calculating. Unseen. Emma walked by my office window, pausing to look in. Our eyes met. She didn't know every detail yet, but she trusted me. That trust, fragile as it was, fueled me more than anger ever could. By the end of the day, I had mapped my strategy, secured my allies, and ensured every move counted. Alex's superficial charm would crumble. Subtlety, patience, and precision, those were my weapons. I whispered to myself as I shut my laptop, he won't even see it. I watched Alex from across the conference room, pretending to check my tablet. He was presenting the quarterly figures to the board, gesturing confidently, smiling as if charm alone could carry him through. Revenue projections for the next quarter are very promising, he said smoothly, ignoring the discrepancies on the slides. I raised an eyebrow subtly. Promising. I muttered to myself, we'll see about that. Emma sat beside me, her brow slightly furrowed. James, is he okay? I smiled faintly, keeping my voice neutral. He's fine. Just overconfident. That's all. He clicked to the next slide, but a critical error appeared, a miscalculation in the numbers I had tracked days ago. The CFO's eyes narrowed, and murmurs spread across the room. Alex, are these figures accurate? One director asked. Absolutely, he said quickly, but the hesitation in his tone betrayed him. I double-checked everything. I leaned back slightly, savoring the moment quietly. Karma doesn't need force. It just unfolds. Emma's hand brushed mine, tentative. James, he's making mistakes. Are you happy about this? I looked at her, my smile restrained. I'm satisfied, not gloating. Sometimes, the truth reveals itself without interference. We just watch and ensure it's visible. Alex stumbled over a sentence, and I caught Daniel's subtle nod across the room. Our silent collaboration had paid off. Every minor error I had documented was now stacking against him. After the meeting, Alex stormed out, slamming the glass door. His charm was gone, replaced by frustration and panic. I exhaled slowly. He's unraveling faster than I expected. Emma stayed behind, collecting her notes. I don't understand. He's usually so composed. Did I miss something? You didn't miss anything, I said gently. He's revealing who he really is, arrogant, careless, overconfident. The more he tries to impress, the more visible his mistakes become. She nodded, still frowning. It's unsettling. I didn't realize he could falter like this. I leaned closer, lowering my voice. Exactly. But watch closely. Pride always has a cost, and those who depend solely on charm rarely survive scrutiny. Later, in the break room, I overheard him complaining to a colleague. I don't understand. I did everything right, and they're questioning me. You didn't, the colleague said hesitantly. Some numbers were off, minor, but noticeable. I handled it perfectly, he snapped. I can't fail. Not now. I sipped my coffee quietly, listening. Every word, every shout, was confirmation. Karma was doing its work. I didn't need to push. I only needed to observe. Emma appeared then, watching me carefully. James, you're calm about all this. Are you enjoying it too much? I looked at her, softening my gaze. I'm not enjoying his downfall. I'm observing. Patience. Emma, some things fix themselves if you wait and act wisely when necessary. She bit her lip. I just worry he might drag us into his mess, even indirectly. He's so reckless. Exactly, I said quietly. And that recklessness is his undoing. I'll make sure it doesn't touch us. A day later, I saw him receiving a formal warning from HR. His expression shifted from disbelief to fury. This is ridiculous, he muttered to no one in particular. Daniel leaned toward me. It's happening faster than we thought. I nodded. Yes. And we stay calm. Let him think he's fighting back, while the foundation crumbles beneath him. That evening, Emma approached me in the office parking lot. James. I feel conflicted. I knew he was arrogant, but seeing it this way, it's strange. Almost satisfying. I smiled faintly. Conflicted is natural. But you'll see he's no match for stability, competence, and patience. Sometimes, life teaches lessons better than confrontation. She looked at me, eyes soft. You always know what to do. I admire that about you. I just hope I don't feel guilty enjoying his failures. You won't, I said. Because this isn't about vengeance. It's about justice, seeing truth revealed. And he brought it on himself. The next morning, I watched him flounder in another meeting, contradicting himself, fumbling slides, stammering through figures. I felt no glee, only a steady satisfaction that everything was unfolding naturally. Emma caught my glance. "James, are you proud of me for staying composed?" "I'm proud of both of us," I said. "We don't need to show anger or gloat. Calm observation is stronger than any outburst." By the end of the week, the pattern was clear. Alex's credibility was eroding. Minor clients questioned him, colleagues whispered, and his once charming smile was replaced with tension and forced confidence. I whispered to myself as I packed my laptop one evening, "Patience. Every action has consequences, and pride always falls. We just needed to wait. The rest unfolds itself." Emma lingered in the doorway, watching. "James, I'm beginning to see it your way. Control through patience. Not force. It's unsettlingly effective." I met her eyes, smiling softly. Effective because it's honest. He's unraveling himself. We just stay steady. I found Emma in the office lounge, her laptop open but attention elsewhere. I closed the door behind me and leaned against the wall, heart pounding. This wasn't just a talk. This was everything laid bare. "Emma," I said, voice low but firm. She looked up, startled. "James, what's wrong?" "Don't play innocent," I snapped, stepping closer. "I know everything. Alex, his confessions, the hesitation, your guilt. Don't act like I don't see it." Her eyes widened. "James, You hesitated," I continued, cutting her off. "You didn't reject him. You let him speak, let him plant doubt, and I watched you almost fall for it. And you didn't even realize I was protecting you." She blinked, swallowing hard. "Protecting me? James, I didn't." "You didn't what?" I asked, my voice cracking despite my effort to stay composed. "You didn't mean to hurt me? Because that's exactly what you did. Every small hesitation, every flicker of doubt in your eyes, it cut me to the bone." "I didn't mean to, James. I love you," she said, stepping closer. "I do. I was confused. Seeing Alex, it brought back memories I thought I'd buried." "Memories?" I laughed bitterly. "This isn't just about memories, Emma. This is about trust. About knowing who you are and who you belong to. I've trusted you completely, and that trust was shaken. Do you understand how that feels?" Tears welled in her eyes. "I know. I feel guilty, James. Every moment I hesitated, I felt it. But it wasn't about choosing him over you. I swear." "Swear?" I interrupted, my hands trembling. "Swear doesn't erase what I felt. Swear doesn't erase the nights I lay awake imagining you with him instead of me. Swear doesn't fix the betrayal I almost witnessed firsthand." She flinched. "I never wanted that. I didn't realize how much it would hurt you. I shook my head, cutting in again. "And yet, here we are. Hurt, broken, but standing. Because I'm stronger than this moment, Emma. I'm stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, and yes, stronger than Alex's manipulations." Her voice faltered. "James, you've been protecting me." "Yes," I said firmly. "I've been one step ahead. Every error he made, every subtle manipulation, Daniel and I noticed, we documented, and I ensured it never reached you fully. I've been shielding you, and I've done it quietly. And now, I'm confronting you directly because I won't pretend anymore." She sank into the chair, covering her face. I can't believe you did all that. For me. I feel guilty, ashamed. I didn't see it. I didn't realize." "You didn't see it because you were caught up in your own feelings," I said softly, kneeling in front of her. "And that's human. But I need honesty now. Complete honesty. I can't rebuild trust with half-truths." She lifted her head, eyes glistening. I was scared, James. Scared of losing you. Scared of admitting I still had unresolved feelings. But my heart, it's yours. Always has been. Always will be." I stuttered her, searching for any sign of deceit. And Alex, does he matter anymore? Her lips trembled. A memory. Nothing more. He made me realize how much I need you, how much I value us. But I still feel guilty for the pain I caused you. I exhaled slowly, tension leaving my shoulders just a fraction. Guilt is natural. Hurt is natural. But love should be stronger than all of it. And mine is. Stronger than doubt, stronger than fear, stronger than any man who thinks he can replace me. Rachel's voice came softly from the doorway. James, Emma, are you both okay? I glanced up. We are working through it. Daniel appeared then, silently observing, giving me a subtle nod. His presence reminded me that strategy and patience were still crucial, even in moments of raw emotion. Emma reached for my hand, tentative but sincere. James, can you forgive me? Not just for Alex, but for the hesitation, for making you doubt us. I held her hand firmly. I can forgive, Emma. But forgiveness isn't enough alone. We need honesty, clarity, and unwavering trust from now on. I won't let history repeat itself. And I won't allow anyone to interfere with what we've built, especially not Alex. Tears ran down her cheeks. I understand. I promise. James. From now on, only honesty, only us. I drew a deep breath, feeling the weight lift slightly. Good. Because I've been patient. I've watched. I've protected. And I will continue to do so. But now, you must see the truth with your own eyes, and decide who you truly belong to. She nodded, leaning slightly against me. I belong to you. I see that now. I feel it now. And I'll never let doubt take me away from us again. I smiled, softly, but with strength. Then we moved forward. Together. Stronger than before, unshaken by manipulation or fear. And let Alex learn his lessons the hard way, quietly, naturally, just as it should be. Her lips trembled in a small smile. Together, she whispered. I held her hand tightly, letting the intensity of the moment settle. Hurt had been confronted. I walked into the office and noticed the tension immediately. Alex was in the corner, arguing with a client, his usual confidence crumbling. You promised these figures would be accurate, the client snapped. Well, there was a miscalculation, he stammered, sweat forming at his temples. I watched quietly from my desk, coffee in hand, my expression calm. Karma doesn't need my help. It just unfolds naturally. Emma approached, her eyes wide. James, he's really losing everything. I see it, I said softly. And he brought it on himself. I almost made the wrong choice, she admitted, lowering her voice. If I had let him back in. I placed a hand on hers gently. You didn't. You chose us. And you'll never make that mistake. Look at him, his arrogance, his manipulations. They're unraveling him. But we don't need to gloat. Just observe. Alex's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, his face pale. Another warning letter from HR. His assistant whispered urgently, but he waved her off, muttering under his breath. I leaned back in my chair, quietly savoring the satisfaction of restraint. Daniel appeared beside me, nodding. It's unfolding perfectly. Patience, I said. That's all it took. He rushed, assumed charm was enough. Pride always punishes itself. Emma looked around, hesitant. I feel almost guilty, seeing him like this. But I know it's just consequences. Exactly, I said softly. This isn't revenge. This is truth. Actions have weight, Emma. Choices have consequences. He's learning them naturally. Later, I overheard a colleague. Alex lost the Thompson account. He mishandled it completely. Everyone's talking. I kept my face neutral. Inside, though, a sense of calm pride settled over me. This was the moment I had waited for, proof that patience and observation outweighed panic and manipulation. Emma approached again, quietly, sitting across from me. James, I feel like I understand now. You didn't just act, you guided things, protected me, and stayed composed. I admire that so much. I smiled faintly. It wasn't about control, Emma. It was about stability, about making sure the chaos didn't reach us. We needed composure, strategy, and trust, not confrontation. Her eyes softened. And you stayed calm, even when I hesitated, even when I almost faltered. I stayed calm because I knew the truth. Alex's power was always surface level. Charm can hide flaws for a moment, but it can't sustain itself. And patience reveals everything. We walked to the balcony, the city lights reflecting our quiet moment. I watched the skyline, then glanced at her. This is our moment now, Emma. No distractions. No manipulations. Just us. She smiled softly. It feels peaceful and safe. For the first time in days, I feel completely safe. I nodded, holding her hand gently. Safe, yes. And stronger too. We endured uncertainty, confusion, and manipulation, and we are still standing. That's strength. That's growth. That's love. A notification buzzed on my phone. I glanced down. Alex had just posted a public apology for his mishandled accounts. The comments were harsh, critical. Even his closest allies were questioning him now. I closed the phone slowly. See? Even his attempts to save face fail. Truth always surfaces. Emma. Always. She rested her head lightly on my shoulder. I never realized how much patience and observation matter, how much strength you had to hide, and how much you protected me without me noticing. I kissed her temple softly. It's not about hiding strength, it's about using it wisely. The right moment, the right action, and the rest, life corrects itself. The office around us was buzzing, yet we felt removed from the chaos. Alex was falling, but we weren't celebrating. We were simply steady, composed, unshaken. Emma looked up at me, eyes reflecting gratitude and relief. James, thank you. For everything. I smiled, squeezing her hand. No thanks needed. You made the right choice. That's all that matters. And in that quiet, serene moment, I realized something crucial. Power isn't about confrontation, loud victories, or revenge. True power is patience, restraint, and the calm knowledge that those who betray will ultimately face their own consequences. I breathed in, feeling the weight of tension lift. Emma by my side, our bond reaffirmed, the chaos behind us. I found Emma in the lounge again, this time with a quiet smile instead of tension. I joined her, feeling the air between us lighter, calmer. Morning, James, she said softly. Coffee? I'll take one, I replied, settling across from her. It's peaceful today. She laughed lightly. After all the chaos, I think we deserve a calm morning. I nodded, studying her. Emma, about everything. I want us to rebuild. Slowly, carefully, with honesty. Her eyes met mine, serious now. I want that too. No more secrets. No more hesitation. I've realized how much trust matters, and I don't want to risk losing us again. I've learned a lot too, I said, sipping my coffee. Patience, observation, understanding my own worth. I used to define myself by what I protected, by my reactions. Now, I realize strength is also restraint and clarity. She smiled faintly. You've changed. I've seen it. And it inspires me to do the same. To be honest, open, and to value what we have. I reached across, touching her hand. That's the start. Emotional transparency. A promise to communicate, not just act. That's how we rebuild trust. She nodded. I'll be better. I want us to be stronger together, James. No manipulations, no past shadows interfering. And no rushing, I said quietly. We take each day as it comes. Celebrate progress, acknowledge mistakes, and support each other. That's growth. Emma leaned back slightly, thoughtful. You've been patient with me, even when I faltered. I don't know if I've ever been shown that kind of strength before. I had to learn it too, I admitted. I realized that control isn't about dominating others. It's about guiding, protecting, and knowing when to act and when to wait. And understanding my own limits, my own worth, is part of that. She smiled, softly resting her hand over mine. James, thank you. For staying calm, for believing in us, even when I almost broke your trust. It means more than I can say. I only stayed because I saw the real you, I said. Not just the hesitation, not just the guilt, but the love, the care, the person who's worth every effort. That's what patience is for, seeing the truth and nurturing it. She looked down, then back up at me. I promised to match that effort, every day. No games, no fear, just us being honest and open. I nodded, feeling a deep calm settle in me. That's enough for me. That's what I needed. Emotional growth doesn't need drama. It needs honesty and respect. We've seen enough chaos. Now it's time for healing. Later, Daniel stopped by my office. James, everything seems calmer now. Alex's influence is gone, and you too seem solid. I smiled. Patience and observation. Daniel. The hard work isn't just in strategy. It's in emotional growth. Understanding ourselves, respecting each other, and guiding things naturally. He nodded, impressed. I can see it. Emma trusts you fully, and you've grown in ways she can see and feel. Even Rachel called later. I just wanted to say, you handled everything brilliantly, James. And you and Emma, it feels like things are finally right. I chuckled softly. Right doesn't mean perfect, Rachel. It means honest. It means calm. It means growth for both of us. That's enough. Sitting back in my chair, I reflected on the months behind me. Betrayal, heartbreak, strategy, restraint. I realized how much I'd transformed. I'd learned my worth, my limits, and the strength that comes from patience and clarity. Emma appeared at my door again, smiling gently. Ready for lunch. I grinned. Yes. But let's talk, really talk, on the way. No distractions, no interruptions. Agreed, she said, taking my hand. As we walked together, I felt a serene satisfaction, not from revenge, not from control, but from growth, understanding, and the promise of a future built